Hello and welcome to Tier 4 here in Portugal. We are back after a week away and we are back with an amazing circuit for amazing racing and probably a little bit of chaos as well, or even more than a little bit. I am your host, Dutchy, and next to me we have Dreamzz, whose camera has decided to absolutely die. Oh, there we go, there now he's back. How are you doing, my guy? Hello? Dreamzz? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Better?
there we go. There he is.
Yep. Mike was muted. Love to see it. Good to be back. Missed last week. But you know, Portugal's a good circuit. Pretty fun. So I think we'll have a good race today. And I think we missed a pretty decent race last week though.
Yeah, I think we did. Unfortunately, I was out partying last week. So yeah, just got my priorities straight. But we are back with an absolute banger of a track, and let's have a look at this track map and just look at this from Com. Absolutely amazing with the little boxes of F1 next to it there. But it is a pretty tricky track to drive actually, with turn 4 and turn 8 being very easy to spin out on, if I recall correctly. But we are already in qualifying, so let's go ahead and...
We've got our first lap of night about to start. We can give you guys a rundown of in detail. I think this is a short circuit, so you get about 3.5 laps of fuel on board, something around that. So he might be going for multiple laps, warming the tires, doing a calm lap, or he's just weaving on the straight because I think he's doing 2 straight. But Portugal, yes, a very tricky circuit on tires. 2, with traction. There's a lot of uphill a lot of uphill traction zones where you're also turning. So you're turning, going on throttle, and you're uphill. So it's just a recipe for zero grip. I think bouncy is going to be our first actual completed lap here. A lot of high-speed corners. This is turn 7, completely flat out. Turn 8, the toughest corner on the track with the traction. Although that runoff area has been extended on this game, so you're a little bit wider there through turn 9 and 10. So I think this is 11. Yeah. Down to turn 12, flat out corner, uphill again for turn 13, braking and turning at the same time through turn 13, and then the really long corner of a downhill turn 14, which is the final true corner on the circuit. This is turn 15, I think. Don't quote me on it. Completely flat out. Even in the wet can be flat out. But here we go. Bouncy is going to be a 117.5. Pretty decent banker lap for him. I actually have no idea what a good lap is here. Gonna be honest. Yeah, probably in the 16s and 15s as it was last game. Yeah, this one thing about Portimao is... Are we muted? Are we?
Oh. You shouldn't be.
Have you guys been able to hear me?
There we go. I should be back now as well.
That's funny. Oh well. Yeah, so I was just about to say, Portimao is, I think, the only circuit, it might be the only circuit where we use the C1, C2, and C3, at least on this game. So the hard tires are terrible. They will last for a good 70 laps. So you will see a lot of soft mediums, medium soft strats here. The hards, like they are a viable tire, but the mediums are just as good throughout the entire race. So you're going to see a lot of people maybe not doing as many runs. They can have more soft tires for the race. You're going to see a lot of people using the softer tire allocation. So you're not going to see very many of the white wall tires as JBTC does his usual thing. You know, putting it in a wall. There's not a lot of places you can put it in a wall there, and he has found one. So props to JBTC for, you know, providing consistent content. Probably only consistent thing in this series besides for his teammate Bouncy, the championship leader who has scored more than double-digit points in every race barring Hungary. So he's been on the podium 4 times, has yet to take his elusive win. But, you know, sometimes all you need to do is show up every race and stay on the podium, score double-digit points, and that's what he does. So he has regained the championship lead from J-Joe, who unfortunately did not show up last week. So he was with me and Dutchy partying, I guess.
We had a great party last week.
Yeah. So this newbie sets the new fastest lap. Close times already. Again, at 15 turns in a very short circuit. A lot of these turns are turns where, like, turn 2 is completely flat out. Turn 6 is flat out. Or, yeah, turn 7's flat out. Turn 9's flat out. Turn 10's flat out. Turn 12's flat out. Turn 15's flat out. So there's really only, like, 8 corners on this circuit that you need to worry about. So these times are going to be incredibly close. The DRS is really powerful here. So we're going to see a lot of close racing and a lot of close times.
Yeah, but those 8 corners that are actual corners on this track are pretty difficult corners. And
they're so difficult. Turn 1's a really difficult corner. Turn 8 is incredibly difficult. Turn 4. Turn 13 and 14 can be really tough to get right, especially on the traction on the exit. A lot of these corners are not even the exit traction. It's just mid-corner, understeer. So a really difficult circuit, and I find it really fun. I love this circuit.
it is a blast to drive. I will 100% agree with you on that. But since we're in quali and there's not that much happening anyway, apart from setting a couple of lap times, let's run ourselves through the driver standings. Here in Tier 4, we have obviously Bouncy in first place, leading the championship with 87 points, and just 3 points behind him, missing last week, J-Joe in second place in the Ferrari. D-Master in third place on 55 points, 29 points behind J-Joe. That is quite a big gap, and it's looking to be a 2-horse race for the championship fight. Angry Shadow as a reserve in 4th place, Newbie in 5th in the Kick Sauber. In the sugar-free Red Bull, we have Golden Drift in 6th place, ahead of the actual Red Bull, MRK in 7th. 8th in the standings sits JBTC, which is actually quite impressive given how often he has his moments, ahead of his fellow JTB Drippin in 9th place in the Kick. And rounding out the top 10 will be Pete with 23 points.
Yeah, so we've got pretty close. We've got two guys that are separating themselves from the field a little bit. Is my camera tweaking out again? Whatever. Yeah, J-Joe and Bouncy have separated themselves from the rest of this field. Angry Shadow's done 2 races, won both of them, and is like a top 5 in the standings, which is kind of funny. So yeah, I think constructor standings, I think we've had a really good season with a lot of people competing for wins up top. Maybe some of the bottom teams haven't had the same luck, but they can turn around. Sean Tiller looks like he's in a great position to, double Mercedes points. Yeah, because they've only scored 18 this entire season, and he is in a net P2 right now. Well, not net P2. He's on the front row provisionally, is what I meant to say. Looks like he's on a lap right now. See how he can go through his second split through turn 11.
No, he's backed out.
Oh, he's backed out. Okay. 6 tenths down. Yeah, he probably should back out. As we've both stated, this is a really tough track. So we could see a lot of big improvements throughout these laps. Can be a track where you find your rhythm just like that, and it flows so beautifully. Yeah, and the times are so close. So if we see some big improvements, like John does work improves 4 tenths and he goes from P13 to P8, 5 tenths. But yeah,
Don't be surprised.
You know what I mean.
Don't be surprised with that. But when you lose that rhythm, it's quite hard to get it back actually around this track. It's a difficult track when you've lost your rhythm. And to be able to get back into that rhythm, it does take a lot of mental strength to be able to do that. So yeah, this will not just be a test of pace and car control and skill in that regard, but also a test of your mental game, which is probably sometimes more important than your actual racing craft in these lower tiers.
Yeah. You can think of it. Turn 1, huge sausage curve. If you miss your turn in just by a bit, you turn in a little too early, or you turn in a little bit too late, you're either going over that sausage curve and flying off the track, like Kayla just did, or you're missing the corner and going off track and getting a warning. So it's super easy to get in and out of that flow state. You can have a snap through turn 4, a snap through turn 8, a snap on the exit of turn 14. And it can ruin your whole sense of rhythm, your whole, what you've worked for. It can overheat the tires. The tires do go through a bit of, it's not terrible on tires, but, they go through some stress in these high-speed corners.
Yeah, especially the left-hand side tires. They take a beating around this track. And someone who is not gotten his rhythm completely right is MRK, who just had a spin on his quali lap and is now letting a couple of people back through. Is anybody actually on my lap?
I don't know, but MRK was taking a different service road. It's not the track, but to each his own. I think Pete is just starting a lap. We've got a V-carb, I think that is. Golden Drift just going into the pits. And that's a Red Bull.
I'm on board with Joe, who looks to be on a lap right now. Yeah, he is almost 4/10 up. There's one of those big improvements, as you said. He's now coming up to the last real turn, getting it nicely hooked up to the apex, getting that throttle down pretty nicely and onto the straight, to that elevated straight, which actually goes up quite a bit there, as you can see on the onboard camera. Goes across the line for a pole position of a 16.7, provisional pole for him, and that's a great lap.
Yeah, it was a great lap from JJo. Looking to regain his championship lead today. Bounty does not look to have great pace, although he's coming out for a next run now. Did JJo go too early? I don't think so, but is he going to use up all his soft tires? Don't know. And one thing you can definitely do here is forget to put it on softer tire allocation and then have way too many of the harder tire compound. But we don't got a ton of people on laps right now, which kind of sucks. Testarossa on a lap? Yeah. No, he just finished a lap.
Yeah, D-Master is starting one. He is barreling down towards turn 1. Ooh, very close to losing the back end into turn 1. Now into turn 3. Pretty decent stoppage there. Gets the car rotated nice and easy. Goes a little bit wide on turn 4, but doesn't lose the back end, which is so easy to do there. Just down on his time by about half a tenth. Goes into the hairpin, kicks the back end out. That's not gonna help him any. That's not gonna do him any good in getting a better time. Now towards turn 8, also a tricky traction zone. Can he keep it down? Nope. And he's into the grass, doing his best Valtteri Bottas impression, lowering the moan, and almost getting into the way of the Red Bull there.
He was lowering the moan. Yeah. Looked like that whole lap was just over the limit for D-Master. Trying to overdrive the car, which is what you can't do that here. You're gonna kill the rears, and they're not gonna like it. All these uphill traction zones, you have to be careful on the rear tires. Yeah, you see what just happened to him. Had huge moments of stepping out where the rear just did not comply with how much throttle he was putting down, the steering he was putting down. It's got to be more smooth than that. Can't overdrive the car here. Nathan, I think, is just starting another lap. Yep, just starting a lap. We got a Mercedes of Yagas on an out lap, looks like.
Ooh, I'm on board with Bouncy, who's currently 5/10 up. on his best time. He's coming through the last couple of corners right now. Little bit wide through that final real corner into the final corner coming onto the straight. This will be either a high 16 or a very low 17. It's 17 flat, 5/10 improvement, puts him P4 front row, second row.
It didn't improve so much through the middle sector or the final sector there that you would have liked to see. As Chantilly going to come around Friday and go pull, I think. Ooh, it's close. Just a couple hundredths. So next up is Newbie, I think, of the front runners. J-Jo is not going to come out again. Tilla might have the battery to recharge, or the fuel to recharge. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, so that might be it. I think Bouncy... I think Bouncy has the fuel to recharge. He's got about looks like a lap and a half. Golden Drift is still in contention for pole. D-Master in contention. We saw how he was overdriving the car on his last lap, was able to get in the pits and get back out. Yeah, so this definitely is not over, but J-Jo continuing to look strong, especially after Chantilly just did a lap and did not gain the time he needed to jump J-Jo. So that lap is looking stronger and stronger by each lap that goes on the board. Knight, I'm on board with the middle sector up 2/10. So Knight doesn't look like he's going to be in contention for pole, but could be in contention for the top 5. Yeah, never mind, he might be.
A little bit of traffic in his way, though. Yeah, that's not gonna do him any good. He doesn't really get the apex nicely, or doesn't hug it as much as you probably want to. So that's gonna lose him a little bit of time coming up towards the line now. 17 flat gets him P7. And we have a lot of 17 flats here. We have, I think, like 3 or 4.
We got 4 of them. So I think D-Master is going to try and take his name out of the 17 flat. Newbie on a lap, also in contention for pole. Looks like he'd be about a 10th up through the first sector. We got a ton of laps going on the board now. We go from 0 to about 10 laps all on the board. Bouncy had a spin. Bouncy's done. He's going to be P4 at his very best. Golden Drift doesn't look like he's going to be on a lap here. Looks like he just started. He's just starting one. I don't know how much time's left to get a yellow flag out of the way. Just gonna make it. D-Master again overdriving the car on the exit of turn 6. 5. And then turn 6 and turn 7. Can't really overdrive the car in flat out corners. Oh, JVTC spins again, or is that Bouncy? I think that's Bouncy. Bouncy's fun. D-Master. Newbie, yep. Newbie takes pole with the 16.6. Great lap from him. D-Master still improving now. Maybe a jump up Bouncy and Golden Drift. Yeah, I think J-Jo's actually out. He got out on the lap somehow. That's crazy. He's going to be behind a Red Bull though. Fnatic might give him a great tow, or MRK. Whichever Red Bull it is. I think it's Fnatic. Oh, no, it is MRK. He's going to get out of the way. J-Jo a little bit wide, I think, on the exit of the final corner there. He's going to be on the battery all the way. He's going to run out of ERS. No, he's going to be very close, though. Up across the line. Looks like he's going to improve. He is. It's going to be a 16-4. It's going to be pole for J-Jo. Nobody has the answer for him. Newbie took the step up, but J-Jo took it right back from him. Golden Drift is not going to improve. Down 5/10. Lethal Pete, 32 seconds off his pace. That's not going to improve. And I think that is it. That was our last lap, was J-Jo crossing the line to take pole position.
Yeah, what an amazing lap right at the end there. Saved the best till last and is able to start from pole alongside Newbie.
Yeah, best for last indeed. And it's great. His championship rival is in P4 though. Bouncy was able to consolidate a pretty good qualifying out of that. So there's still plenty of work to do. We got 33 laps of a lot of action, hopefully a lot of overtaking, and not that many safety cars. But we do need some good, well-timed safety cars to, spice some things up. I mean, we have JBTC, so we might as well just count having one of them.
Yeah, we had very late safety cars in both Tier 6 and Tier 5. Both safety cars came out at lap 26 or 27, I believe, and the race got going again at lap 29 and 30 for both tiers. So if we can see that again here, that would be absolutely great, because it'll mean we have an explosive last couple of laps, explosive ending to the race, which will start with J-Jo on pole, Newbie on the front row with him, Sean in third and Bouncy in fourth, Golden Drift in fifth, D-Master in sixth, Knife in seventh, Pete in eighth, Fnatic in ninth, and Nathan rounding out the top 10, one tier above his usual tier. Doing some good work for the Haas boys there.
Yeah. This is a pretty key part of the Grand Prix. What tires are people starting on? We could have some mediums. We could have some softs. We should not have any hards. Whoever goes on hards gets banned.
I mean, it is tier 4. It is tier 4. Tier 4 always throws up the things that you never thought you'd see in your life in league racing. They always manage to throw it up here. So I would not be surprised to see a hard or more. Yeah. Not be surprised at all.
I pray that we do not have any hard tires. We should not. I don't think we will. I think, yeah, okay. The only difference is going to be mediums or softs. Bless.
And which one would you recommend starting on?
I don't know. I do like an overcut. The mediums are the best race tire, so I don't. Maybe you start on the softs. You know, have your worst race tires first, and then then pit onto the mediums. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Safety cars are also very dependent on this. But we are lights out, and we are underway for the Portuguese Grand Prix. J-Jo gets a good start from P1. Bouncy does not have a good start on the medium tires. Gonna try and consolidate a spot in turn 1. I think him and D-Master were side by side. We got a lot of details between. Oh, Bouncy. Ooh, that was not a good dive from him. We've got Sean Tilla, D-Master, Bouncy, Yaga, Mr. Pete, and Jim just raced all on the medium tires. Everyone else on the softs. Mr. Pete going up the inside of Fnatic. Fnatic breaks deeper in, consolidates her position. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Bouncy off the track. Bouncy down to P7. Not a great start for the championship leader. But yeah, J-Jo not really leaving Newbie. And Chantilla had probably the best start, you know, keeping his P3 on the medium tires. Now, if he can stay within DRS at these top 2, he is looking great. He's got a couple laps for those mediums to cross over, probably 5 or 6, until those mediums start working better than the soft tires. So it's going to be a really crucial stage for his Grand Prix and his chance of winning and more than doubling Merck's point total. Golden Drift is looking competitive on the soft tires as MRK gets moved on Pete into the final corner. Don't know how he did that, but he did. Nathan looking up on the inside of the true final corner. Mr. P going to dump the battery and consolidate his position there. Pretty hectic first lap, nothing crazy, and everyone was clean, and we're still all within DRS.
Yeah, and everybody is still alive, which is very surprising here in Tier 4. Sean's actually on controller, says Cupcake in the chat. So that'll be interesting to see what that does for his pace. Currently, it's looking very good for him at the moment, as he does have Golden Drift right behind him, looking for a move but thinking better of it. There's Knight and D-Master also very close together, as basically this whole field is an oh, there goes Nathan very wide at the hairpin, but still manages to keep his position in P11. And yeah, everybody quite close together, but managing to keep it clean. Very well done by everyone so far.
Is dropping the pace of these top 2. What I think would be best for him is just to let Golden Drift go. Let Golden Drift go and try and have him. You got D-Master, who's also on the mediums behind in P5. So if you let Golden Drift go, you don't really have a threat behind us. We have a spin of guess who? JBTC. Anyway. Golden Drift, I think letting him by would be the best for his chance to get back into DRS of the top 2. Golden Drift looks like he's going to dump the battery, and it's not going to be a challenge here. Yep, and John Till's just going to let him go by. Good racing from both of them, just being smart, as Knight looks like he's going to go up the inside of D-Master up into P5. looking to challenge ahead, these soft tire runners have to make the best use of their tires. It's a really important part of them in the Grand Prix. The top two are doing that beautifully, running away a bit from Golden Drift. Golden Drift needs to try and claw back into DRS. Chantilly going up the inside, not smart from him. He's got to just let Golden Drift do this. He's on the much faster tires. So maybe, as we were talking about, the mental part of racing, Chantilly maybe doesn't have his head on right. You don't go for the move there. Golden Drift was gaining on them. But we'll see how it kind of pulls on from here. 1.6 seconds back from DRS for Chantilly.
Yeah, and this train here, oh, it's Knight taps Golden Drift right in the back. I just caught that at the perfect time, which now allows everyone behind them to basically try and make him move. This is going to be very hairy into turn 1. D-Master has got past Golden Drift, as has Bouncy, and now they're on the back of Knight. Is there going to be a move? Bouncy! Oh, what is happening here? Bouncy almost flying across the straight. D-Master gets past. Bouncy gets past Knight. No, they are still battling side by side going into turn 3 here. Bouncy trying to outbreak the McLaren. Does so. Now the McLaren sticking back up the inside. Bouncy maybe getting the better run here. As a little bit further back, Fnatic is battling with Pete. Pete diving to the inside. No. Golden Drift getting in that action as well. So much is happening here. I can't even keep up. Fnatic defending from Pete here. And we have a little bit of calmness again. We have a little bit of calm again.
D-Master just pulled out of the slipstream of who was in front of him. Golden Drift, I think, maybe Knight. Pull it out of the slipstream of Knight, but Bouncy had a better run on D-Master. Bouncy was already alongside D-Master, just pulled out and almost caused a huge accident. So not really keeping his head, not really level from D-Master there. He would have seen the red arrows 1,000%. Can't just pull out of the slipstream if there's a car next to you. But Bouncy was able to recover pretty well from that. D-Master not really dropping this group. It was pretty close. Knight is out of DRS, but looks to have the pace still. The soft tires, I think, are still probably the better tires. Knight goes deep. Bouncy almost goes too shallow into turn 1. Now Knight is defensive. You guys got to work together. It's a DRS train. You have to work together to, use your optimal pace. But they haven't been. They haven't been. We talked about this earlier. Having the racing brain, you got to be smart with your overtake. You got to be smart on when to just stay behind and be able to stay in that flow, in that rhythm. And they haven't done it at all, I've seen.
Now let's look at what everybody has done in terms of position gains at the start of the race here in the first 5 laps. D-Master has managed to move up 2 places, as has Knight. Bouncy has dropped 2, as has Golden Drift. Fnatic got up 1, and Lethal Pete has dropped 1, so they switched positions. But JTB Drippin in 10th place, managing to grab 8 positions at the start of the race here. Absolute amazing start from him. And we'll show you the tires as well. Top 2 on soft tires, then 3 and 4 on mediums. 5th is on soft tires as well. Bouncy is 6 on mediums. Then 7 and 8 on softs. 9 on mediums, and then it's 5 or 6 cars on softs, as there is a little bit of movement back there. As Lethal Pete, I think, managed to get ahead of Fnatic there.
Indeed, he got up the inside of turn 1, dumped all his battery, but Fnatic didn't really fight that at all. Smart from her. Chantilly looks like he's making inroads on the top 2 now. He's got to get back in DRS and try and overtake them before they pit, because if they can pit and have a bunch of clean air, that undercut on the mediums I think is going to be huge.
Yeah, D-Master made a mistake though last lap, I think, because Knight is now right within his DRS, 5/10 back, and this fight for P4 is back on.
Yeah, again, probably overdriving the car, trying to push too hard. He knows he's got clean air. He's got the medium tires, which probably are getting to be around the best race tire right now. So he's probably, gotta calm down a little bit. minimize your mistakes, and just get in that nice flow, nice rhythm, and the lap time will come to you. But Knight on the back wing, 6 tenths behind. I don't think it's close enough. He's dumping the battery. Just don't think he's going to be close enough to get a move up the inside of turn 1. Bouncy right behind them, Golden Drip behind them, and then a little bit of a gap to Mr. P and Fnatic. Nathan up back into the points, overtaking Kamau. Jay Lowry overtaking JTB Drip, and JTB Drip, we just talked about him, and is now back down to P13. Golden Drip, that's another thing we forgot to mention. Time penalties are really, that's pretty funny. Time penalties are really easy to get here. There's a lot of corners where you go wide. There's a lot of corners where you're pushing the track limits, and it's easy to get them.
Oh, D-Master and Knight side by side coming out of the hairpin.
Yeah.
Knight with a big dive there then. And D-Master just pushes Knight out wide there. Absolutely left him no room whatsoever.
Not at all. Shantilla has done his work. He's back in DRS. So I think this is Sean's race as of now. This undercut's going to be huge. He's got to kind of overtake them and build a gap before those soft runners pit. They're going to be pitting here probably within the next 5 laps at the latest. You want to get on these medium tires. They're the best race tire.
Yeah, I'm staying on board.
The best race tire for sure.
I'm staying on board with D-Master for now because he is overdriving that car so much. And he's now getting overtaken by Knight and Bouncy. And that sees him down 2 positions in 1 straight. But he lost the back end in the final corner hugely. And Knight is defending from Bouncy really hard and really aggressively there. They're going almost side by side through turn 4. Bouncy is now going to have the run on Knight. He's going to go down the outside. D-Master's thinking about diving to the inside. He doesn't do it. He uses his brain for once. But Bouncy goes right around the outside of Knight there to take P4. An absolutely amazing move. But he does have 3 seconds worth of time penalties.
Try and just absolutely leave this group behind. Maybe not this lap, but maybe over the next coming laps you can break that DRS. Knight looking to deploy some battery. As we have another moment is Jay Lowry, not JBTC this time. But yeah, Knight on the battery looked to have a bit more pace through there. Bouncy is on none, so he's recharging some battery, looking to defend on this straight here. Yeah, Shantilla also needs to get one of these overtakes done. He's within the DRS. He's got the much better tires as of now.
These 2 tenths behind.
The battery.
He's probably gonna be able to do it. Or yeah, if he doesn't have the battery, then maybe not. He's actually not even catching up on the straights. But he gets very close into turn 1. Actually gives Newbie a little bit of a left tap on the rear there. And almost loses the car trying to get the power down. Newbie out of ERS as well. Chong gets the better drive now. Down into the hairpin out of turn 4. Gets a beautiful drive. And that's an easy move up the inside. As Bouncy and Knight are fighting as well. And Bouncy stays ahead of Knight for now. 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. All within a second of each other. That's a big DRS train there. Shantilla just made a move for P2 and is now looking to claim first place of Jejo, which he needs to do very quickly if he wants to build that gap.
Bouncy not really dropping Knight as I thought he might be able to. Not really being able to show the pace of the Alpine and the tires he has right now, but he gets a huge chunk gain through a tricky traction zone, half flat, half downhill. But Knight staying closely pretty well, looking to again overtake Bouncy before he goes. Probably before turn 1 here.
As we go with Shantilla and Jejo for this battle for the lead. Shantilla just takes it easy on the straight and Jejo doesn't fight it, which is probably the smarter thing to do. How about Knight? Is he gonna go for a move down into turn 1? No, but he's gonna get close to the back of Bouncy and he's gonna get a 3-second time penalty because he washed wide because of that dirty air. I think something actually happened with Fnatic, or Nathan overtook Fnatic, because Nathan is now in 9th place. Bouncy got overtaken by Knight. D-Master is sitting behind this, probably... Jesus, I'm lost for words for a second.
He's sitting behind, charge of his battery, looking to make a double overtake, I'm guessing. Yeah, he's done pretty smart managing his race. He's got way more battery than these two ahead of him. So what he's got to try and do is make both these overtakes in one corner. His biggest thing is splitting Bouncy and Knight. Bouncy and him are on the same tire, same strategy. So he's got to be ahead of them on track if he wants to, continue to have that advantage throughout the race. These soft tire guys, a bit of a different race at the moment. You don't want to lose time. You don't want to lose tires being behind them because you're going to have to go further into this race on this set of tires, and you've got to keep that pace up.
We've got Golden Drift and Level Pete side by side onto the main straight. Pete now ducks into that slipstream of Golden Drift, but Golden Drift moving away from him on the straight as D-Master and Bouncy are battling through turn 1. D-Master gets the position and is now looking to overtake Knight, as now Mr. Pete gets past Golden Drift. Just as I switch off everybody, that's when they decide to make the move. As Bouncy gets very close to the back of D-Master there, and Pete gets close to the back of Bouncy. Everybody just gets checked up behind each other. And Bouncy now sniffing that rear end from D-Master, actually giving a little tap, almost spinning D-Master around. If we have a spinner in, I believe that's Jordan, in turn 4, which is very easy to do.
Like it. Jordan has not scored points in this season yet. I don't know how many races he's really done. This might be his first one. Or his second. I think he raced last week in Belgium, but I wasn't there, obviously.
Yeah,
I think he just bought the game while we were commentating on Hungary.
Okay. That is, well, better late than never, I guess.
Yeah. And we're gonna see some soft runners start pitting here. 11 laps into the Grand Prix. I think Bouncy, laps. You're getting. How do you have 6? You get a warning every 2 laps. So that's first run to get a 6-second time penalty. I don't think he's gonna be the last today. But the way this is looking, it might be up to 12. Maybe even more. Maybe 15. But he's got to keep that under control. He can't be continuously going over track limits, trying to push way too hard on this car, on these tires. You gotta, again, I always say lose 2-3 tenths and lose 3 seconds on the end of your race. You lose a couple tenths a lap, it's whatever. You're not gonna have that happen to you 10-15 times. Do not go over track limits because it'll probably end up to kick you anyway. Kick you in the butt in the end.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me if D-Master got a penalty as well, because he looks to be overdriving the car once again after having a good little middle stint here where he saved his battery, kept his head, but now he's kicking the backhand out every corner almost. And Chantilla not really pulling away from the two behind on that better tire at the moment, as P and Bouncy are side by side going into turn 1. Bouncy backed out, very smart from him there. So we have a couple of people pitting from the soft tires going onto their medium tire. And Cupcake is confident D-Master is not getting a penalty. Okay. Oh, what's happened here? I look away for a second to check, and I see a front wing flying about from Golden Drift. What has happened here?
The back of Bouncy. Oh, Bouncy left the session.
Ooh, that might be why. A little bit of lag issues for Bouncy. Which maybe called out Golden Drift, who has a big chunk of that front wing missing. He's surely gonna have to pit off those soft tires. He was probably going to anyway, but that's gonna cost him another 7-8 seconds extra for changing their win. Top 2 are in though. J-Jo and Newbie pitting from the second and third place. D-Master taking over second place. Pete taking over third. And indeed, Golden Drift going in, changing that front wing.
Where these guys come out. Are they going to come out behind Dreamzz Rage? Are they going to come out in front? It's going to be really close. They're going to come out behind Dreamzz Rage. That could cost them, depending on how long he's going to hold them up. But they're not too far behind where it's going to cost them immediately. JJo's still got plenty of room ahead and behind him to bring these tires in nicely. Let them warm up the temperature in a way that's not going to kill them.
Yeah, fun fact right now, everybody in the entire field is on mediums. Some are older than others, that is true, but everyone is on mediums at the moment.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think I have either. That's why I pointed it out. But JJ already on the back of Jim, and this is gonna be a slam dunk move. Yeah, or maybe even in an unorthodox place just to lose as little time as possible. Maybe even up the inside here if he's feeling really brave, but no, he just chooses to go for it into turn 1, probably on the straight. As he is getting really held up now. If he has a yellow flag is sector 2. That is for Nathan, who has had a little bit of a moment. Is dropping down a couple of positions, down to 14th now. And there we go, JJ making the move on Jim on the straights. And now we're gonna see how long it takes for Newbie to get around him. As I am going to turn on my lights.
Not a lot going on right now. We got a lot of big gaps on the field. Looks like MRK might be looking for a move on JGB Drippin. Didn't get a great exit out of turn 3, maybe not through turn 4. Going to be on the battery on the overtake. Think he's defending from Golden Drift behind. Golden Drift dropped down to P14 because of that wing change from where JJ is so far ahead. Yaga is, or not Yaga, excuse me. Golden Drift is super far behind. That wing change was incredibly important. Lost him about 5-ish seconds. And at a circuit like Portugal, that is not a great place to get 5 seconds.
No, it's quite hard to gain back as well if you're not within that flow, which we've talked about so much already in this stream. But yeah, Newbie getting past Jim just raged on the previous lap. JJ setting the fastest lap with a 19.1. That's pretty good pace. That's only, I think, 3 seconds from pole time, or just under 3 seconds from pole time. A really good pace there from JJ, who now manages to get past Yoga and puts another car between him and Newbie, as Yoga went deep into the corner and I think now has wing damage. Yeah, he has. He got into the back of JJ and now has wing damage.
Who, Newbie?
No, Yoga.
It's like, Newbie's got plenty of battery. What are you talking about? Yeah, Newbie looking on the back of Yaga. Maybe up the inside of turn 12. Here's going to be a big old dive from him. No, not at all. Blake going to wait for the DRS. So, B-Master ahead, spreading his wings a little bit, stretching his legs, increasing that gap ever so slightly, no matter how close and rapid JJ and Newbie are, closing in on them. Bouncy into the pits.
Yeah, it was a little bit dangerous from Bouncy there, because he just pressed the brake, he just tapped on the brakes right as they came onto the straights, and Newbie had to avoid him because, well, Bouncy obviously wanted to pit, but Newbie almost ran into the back of him because of that.
Oh, nice. Put Newbie onto some new mediums, so he's gonna have to pit again. And he retired. Okay. Because it kicked him out again. Or no, he left. Bouncy, you gotta close out the game. You can't just leave. It'll retire you. Chantel had a moment or something. He lost a lot of time to D-Master.
Well, the gap is still 5.5 seconds, so he's still good on that front. Bouncy's car actually came out back onto the circuit and is now parked at the entry of turn 4. So hopefully I don't think we'll see a safety car for it, but it's not ideal. Chantilla actually catching up to the back of Jordan, having lap traffic, which is something we don't see that often, but it's also not super rare. So I am sure Jordan will get out of the way pretty swiftly for Sean. As we have Knight really on the back of Jim Just Raged, who is on those older tires, 17 lap old mediums. And there we go, side by side. Knight going around the outside. Jim is fighting it, is going down the inside, managing to keep the place. And that will not do Knight any good. That will not make him happy whatsoever. Knight is going to try and go down the inside. Gets a little swapper on, but manages to get the place. And Jim Just Raged really getting feisty there. Going back up the inside of Knight there, even with his 17 old mediums. Yeah, that glitch is absolutely stupid, Bouncy. I 100% agree. It's tough. It's tough, but it happens. It happens sometimes. Newbie gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Let's actually have a look at those penalties, as Golden Drift sets the fastest lap of the race with an 18.9. Newbie with 3 seconds, Knight with 3 seconds, Golden Drift with 3 seconds, and Jordan with 3 seconds. Not as many penalties as I thought we'd see here on lap 19, but probably still plenty more to come.
Yeah, Yaga and Bounties both had time penalties, so about 6 penalties. So yeah, Chantilla has lost even more time to D-Master. Either D-Master's really quick, or Chantilla's messing up a lot. It might be a bit. Oh my
god! Fnatic and JTB Drippin absolutely battling here for this last points paying position. JTB Drippin almost pit maneuvering Fnatic going into turn 8. Now going up the inside. You don't do this here. You don't do this here. And somehow they managed to make it work. There was a little bit of contact, but Fnatic shows JTB Drippin the outside, shows him the door. As Chantilla chooses to pit, so he was losing a lot of time to D-Master, was making a lot of mistakes on those older tires. But JTB Drippin really feeling brave with that move up the inside of turn 10 and 11, I think that is. And now onto the straights, probably looking to get this move done into turn 1 or even before it. And there we go, past him. Is Fnatic going to be able to hang it around the outside? No, not quite, but maybe Fnatic can get a run down into turn 5, into the hairpin. Get a good run out of here, out of turn 4, really tricky traction zone. Get a good run and you might be able to do something. JTB Drippin low on ERS, but so is Fnatic. And Fnatic not able to do anything on that occasion. Meanwhile, J-Jo within DRS of Mr. Lethal Pete.
Crucial for Chantilla in the race in general. Chantilla only came out about 6 seconds behind J-Jo and Newbie after going for another 10 laps on his tire, maybe 9 or 8. So really good laps from D-Master there. Mr. Pete put up absolutely zero fight to J-Jo, as you may or may not expect. Chantilla looking like he can do his first full lap on soft tires here. And I think it's probably going to be fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, let's stay on board with him for this lap then. Through turn 1, oh yeah, as they kick Sauber of Newbie, who went wide at turn 3, I think. Because I saw a little bit of smoke and it looked like the line he was taking was definitely not the optimal one. Chantilla now going to the hairpin. And really closing that gap or trying to close that gap to Newbie. 2.2 seconds, 3/10 on the hairpin alone. And it looks like it's Chantilla's race to lose at the moment. If D-Master doesn't have the pace on softs, or I think he will overdrive the car again. Especially on the softs, because he was doing that all the way throughout his stint on the medium. Chantilla setting the purple sector 2 there for his attempt for the fastest lap of the race. As Newbie actually caught up to Pete. So this might be a three-way battle for P3 in a little bit of a moment. As Pete is gonna put up no fight, I think. For there we go, Chantilla with fastest lap of the race, and Newbie moving up to P2 now as JJo goes into the pits, and D-Master does as well. I mean, D-Master, not JJo. And D-Master coming out in 6th position. It's gonna have to make those soft tires work, but not too much, because you can kill them out pretty quickly if you overdrive them. Which is exactly the thing that D-Master has been doing for a lot of this race.
Yep. Chantilla's got to get these moves done about ASAP. Looking at the back of Knight, about a 10.5 behind. He's going to go up the inside turn as well. It looks like he's going to make the dive. He's just got superior grip, superior traction, and it's a beautiful move. A late dive up the inside of Mr. Lethal P. Next up is Newbie, who has 3-second time penalty, but he's got to overtake to try and give himself a way to back up to the top. Yeah, it's been a great drive from Chantilla so far. Got to get within DRS within this next lap and see how he goes from there.
Well, Arcadia saying Ferrari on top with JJo might go. Well, that is true. We do have a Ferrari leading. We also have a Ferrari at the back of the grid, basically. So I wouldn't really say Ferrari on top, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, JJo is leading, driving an absolutely incredible race. But Chantilla is chasing him on soft tires and is much quicker at this stage of the race. But can he make them last? That is going to be the key question.
Just do something really quick. Just do something 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Do your thing. I can. Oh! We have a little bit of a spin with JBTC and John does work, and they synchronized spinning back towards the pack. That is great job, guys.
I'm so glad I got to see JBTC spin before I left for a second.
Absolute peak tier 4 here. Absolute peak tier 4 here. D-Master might be looking to set the fastest lap of the race as he tries to overtake Knight on this lap. We'll stay on board with him for a little bit here. D-Master in that slipstream, pulls to the outside, comes across the line to set an 18.0 for the fastest lap. And now behind Lethal Pete, who is now ahead of Newbie, who actually made that move into turn 3, I just saw. Absolutely crazy. And oh, who is wide there? Is that JBTC? Of course it is. Who else would it be? JBTC wide, having another JBTC moment. And Newbie now looking to stay with Chantilla because he has that penalty again. And yes, you are right, Angry Shadow. Absolutely amazing to see you on board with that hype train of JBTC moments. I might be a bit turned on after that thing spin. I mean, that did look sexy. I'm not gonna lie, that did look sexy. That did look very sexy, but it was also a bit dangerous, considering there could have been cars coming and they were blocking the entire track at that moment. Golden Drift gets another 3-second time penalty for trying to push too hard, probably. D-Master within 6/10 within a second of the other McLaren as Pete dives into the pits and D-Master gets past him. Let's get the tires up real quickly. Newbie on mediums, 11 laps old. J-Joe also on 11 laps old mediums. Sean Tiller on 5 lap old softs. D-Master on 3 lap old softs. And basically the rest of the field on mediums, apart from Pete and Jim Just Raged, who have recently pitted for them. And Golden Drift with that time penalty, now trying to make a move. Past Jay Lowry does so into the hairpin. Is this going to be a slam dunk? Outbraking maneuver it is. As D-Master now has 6 seconds to catch to Newbie. So he's going to have to make those soft tires work a little bit. That no synchronized spinning was an Olympic event. Well, it is here at the MRL Olympics. And that was definitely silver worthy, maybe even gold worthy. Tires and intervals coming right up deep B-Dunk. I've just said them already, but if you don't listen to me, you can look yourself.
Did JBTC have another moment?
Yes, he did.
Things you'd love to see. Yeah, Chantel apparently made the move. I think I saw it as I was walking away. I think he just kind of dove one up the inside of turn 3.
Yeah, he did.
Beautiful from him. He looks like he's on a mission for the Merc team. As we have another Jordan moment. A Jordan and JBTC moment. A true tale of love.
It's the battle of the Jays, and not in a good way.
It is the battle of who is the worst J. We've had, what, 3 or 4 JBTC moments. We've had probably 3 or 4. When am I getting points in Tier 1? Okay. Should have already had points in Tier 1. But we don't talk about that.
Well, we've seen the worst of the Jays. We also know who the best of the Jays is, and that is J. Joe, who is leading the race. Oh, and there goes Jordan.
I think Jordan just took it there.
Yeah. Jordan becomes our 4th retirement of the race. I think every single one has retired in the pits. We actually have no retirements on track.
Yeah.
As of right now.
VSC or a safety car. We're going to say that, and then we're going to get 3 VSCs in a safety car before the end of this race.
I mean, they have to hurry up. It's already lap 27.
It's going to be... Yeah.
Oh no, I think Jordan's car's... Yeah, Jordan's car's coming back out onto the track.
Blessed. Let's get a safety car coming. Boom!
He retired into the pits, and oh my god! Kamau had to avoid in there. Lightning reactions from the Red Bull driver there. But holy moly, that even made my heart drop.
Yeah, I know he was probably like, oh my god, in the car. Speaking of oh my god, John Tilla is so close to DRS.
John Tilla?
John Tilla? I said John Tilla, right?
I heard John, but I could be deaf.
I could also be dumb. Sean Tilla, there we go, is now in DRS. So he did get out. He did get it. He did get it. So we have a battle for the lead. It's gonna be tight because those soft tires, they last longer than they did at the start. Instead, lower fuel. He had way more clean air. So these soft tires are still probably in a pretty decent shape, but the mediums are gonna start overturning. So they're going to be pretty even. I think maybe the softs will have a little bit of an advantage. But these tires are going to be dead even. It's just going to be an outright battle for the race win here. Both of them on none, charging the battery. They know that this DRS zone, this long straight with the DRS, it works so brilliantly because you go uphill and then you have such a big slipstream down to turn 1. They know that's going to be the deciding factor. We've got 5 laps to go. Where it's going to be just a 2-horse race.
Yeah,
D-Master looks like he's going to be on the podium, but yeah, these two are definitely the battle for the lead.
Yeah, and just look at how much Sean catches up in braking zones. It's absolutely amazing to see. Oh, he does go a little bit wide there, as he is now probably actually going to get the move done for the lead, and it's not even gonna be a contest. Sean Taylor on the straight takes the lead of the race, easy as you like. Great racing there from him. Very nicely done.
From him, JJo's just gotta do. He just gotta stick with him. His tires will end up being better at the end. Chantilla's definitely used battery for that overtake, so it's up to JJo to stay with him now, stay within DRS, and try and keep this battle going to the end of the Grand Prix. D-Master is now definitely on the podium with Newbie's time penalty. Still has not gotten that 3-second that you claimed he will get, but still 5 laps to go, and there's plenty of warnings he can take. But he looks like he's had a pretty calm and collected race for D-Master so far. Can't say that for all the rest of the field, though. For a lot of the rest of the field. Mr. Lethal Pete and MRK come out side by side to turn 5, I think it is. Yeah. And looks like Pete gets the job done on the 4 lap. These are really young soft tires. He could even make a move up to Fnatic in P9.
Yeah, if he gets the hurry up. Okay, now just dropping outside of the point. And Pete already making huge gains into that lead that Fnatic had. It was 3.4 seconds. It's now already 2.6. As Pete is pushing onwards. Newbie gets another 3-second time penalty. I think that takes his total up to 9. Oh no, it does. It's 6.
Not going to affect him too much. Not like he's going to drop to Mr. Knight.
Who also has a penalty.
Yeah. So, yeah, Knight's about 12 seconds back from Newbie. So that doesn't matter unless he racks up another 6 seconds. I think it could get a little interesting. But yeah, D-Master's going to get this move done anyway on the much fresher soft tires. 2 laps younger than Chantilla, so he probably has the most outright pace on the circuit. We know Mr. Lethal Pete is on fresher tires, but I don't think he's quite as quick as D-Master, but he looks like he has been gaining quite a bit on Fnatic, maybe fighting for P9. I don't think Jay Lowry is close enough with the amount of laps we have left for him to catch up to Lowry, but Fnatic is definitely on the chopping block for P9.
Yeah, Jay Lowry actually having a battle with JTP Drippin as he closed up right through sector 2, was only a 10th behind him at one point. Now dropped down back to 7/10 as JJo is very close, a lot closer to Sean than he was a lap ago, and might actually be able to make a move. No, he doesn't stick his nose in there.
A little bit of a wiggle on the exit. Yeah, he was much closer to Tilla that lap. Tilla, ooh, he's got the yellow light of death. This is going to be another interesting part of the race. Although the field mode is on, low field mode is on easy, so it's not going to be too much of a consequence if he runs out, but it definitely will probably give JJo the win.
Well, here we go then. Pete diving down the inside of Fnatic for P9 and getting that move done very easily, as he did very aggressively jolt right there, or jolt left I mean, to get that move done. Now JJo is within a half a second and maybe even within striking distance come turn 4 if he gets this sector 1 right. Or is he even going to try it down the inside of turn 1? No, he's too far back for that one. Actually loses a little bit of ground here. Has to make it up through turn 3 and turn 4 here in the traction zone. Is he going to be able to do that? Get the better run? Doesn't really look like it. And has to stay behind. And Tilla only has to hold on for one more lap.
He did close up a lot on the DRS straight and didn't even use any battery. So that's where it's going to come down to. The exit out of the final corner. So it's going to be really tough, I think, for Tilla. Oh my god, the move's going to go now. Tilla might... It could be a smart decision for Tilla to let it go now. Let J-Jo get this move done. J-Jo, I think, isn't going to be close enough. And I think Tilla might have just been able to let him go. Maybe play a tactical game, let him go. But he's going to worry about himself. J-Jo has a fat snap on the exit. I think Sean Tilla also had a little bit of a wiggle.
Yeah,
they're both going to be on the battery. The slipstream is pulling J-Jo right behind him. Then the DRS is open, and this is not going to be a contest. He is going to fly past, but he gets off the battery. He's on none. Why is he on none? He could. This move is going to be so much more difficult to make in turn 4. I would rather be defending into turn 4 than attacking. You got to nail this corner. He's 5/10 back. It was poor decision. It was a poor decision from J-Jo. Yeah, 4/10 back. He's not going to be close enough, no matter how much of a battery advantage he has. Is he going to dive one up the inside really late? Yes, he is. Oh no, not the smart idea, because he has the battery. If he could stay close, he's not going to have it anymore. If he was able to stay close, he might have been able to get him on the run up to the line. But now it is 5/10 gap. It was a mistake, J-Jo. Sean Tilla did not get off the battery. J-Jo did, and it was poor. He didn't make his decisive move when he should have. You gotta be able to understand the circuit, the dirty air, the clean air that you could get in P1, the traction out of the corners. He's on controller. He's gonna have better traction out of the slow corners, and he proved that to be crucial today. Sean Tilla gonna round the final corner, foot flat to the floor, through the final corner on the battery. This is gonna be no contest to the line. Sean Tilla comes around as your newest race winner in Tier 4. Tilla wins the Portuguese Grand Prix. D-Master's going to come home in a podium. His late mid-season charge is going. Newbie going to take home P4. Knight and Golden Drift coming home for P... Ooh, Golden Drift may not. It's going to be tight. Knight very clearly P5. Golden Drift is going to be really tight between him and JTB Drip. And JTB Drip, does he have the battery? He needs to dump it all. It's going to be so close. And he's not going to get it. He is not going to get it. Golden Drift keeps P6. A 10th, yeah. JTB Drippin, P7. J Lowry, P8. Mr. Pete, P9. Fnatic will round out your points in P10. Whew, pretty good race.
Very good race. Very good race.
Indeed.
With a questionable decision from J-Jo there right at the end on the final lap.
Yeah, that was his race to lose, and he lost it. He's still gonna come out. He's still gonna come out in this race as the championship leader. He still has been the quickest driver all season. But when your championship rival DNFs and you only take home 18 points and not 25, when you had the chance and you had the pace to take home 25, it's gonna sting. It's gonna sting a lot. He's got to be happy with this result. Take his points. Excuse me. It's gonna hurt him a little bit. But Sean Tilla, as we said, I think as I said before, more than doubled Mercedes points, and they might have even overtaken Aston Martin. Maybe no, definitely not the Racing Bulls, but yeah. And then it's gonna jump Tilla up quite a bit in these championship standings. Probably up into the top 10 for sure. Maybe even like the top 7. Definitely into the top 7. He's going to go from 17th to 7th, I think, at the very least. And yeah, Bounty doesn't take any points. And J-Jo will be your new championship leader on 102 points. D-Master will stay in P3, but he brings himself closer to Bouncy and J-Jo from 55 up to 70 points. Angry Shadow obviously didn't race. Newbie in P4 will re-overtake Angry Shadow. I think Golden Drift may overtake him. Doesn't look like it, but yeah. So championship standings are shaking up, and plenty of races to go still. So we'll see how it is towards the end of the season.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do not have time for any interviews today because I need to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we are gonna be ending it right here. It's been an amazing race, and I'm very much looking forward to Coda next week. Any final words before we head on out and I can go to sleep?
There was some really good racing today. No safety cars, no VSC, so really proud of Tier 4 for that. Yeah, and then I'm excited for Coda 2. Think that's going to be a good race. Yeah, another track limits track, so we'll see how that affects Bouncy. Sucks that he had that issue today. I think if he didn't, he still would have been in that top 5 area. So, yeah, that's all from us today then, I guess.
Yes, that's gonna be all from us. Make sure you join Tier 3 to watch all the action there. That's gonna be probably even more insane than what we've had in Tier 4 here today. But anyways, I've been Dutchy. That has been Dreamzz. Even though his camera is decided to end itself again. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
that
I'm
has
back.
been Dreamzz.
Bye, guys.
And we will see you all next week.
Oh, and I'm gone.